Welcome back to our conversation with the ladies of Chapel Hart. Tree, Danica, and Devin are taking on Nashville and the world, one beautiful country song at a time. Ladies, your rise has been meteoric, but there was this take on Jolene that kind of set some things off, if we can say. Let's talk about that and what that was like. Well, first of all, what made you decide to revisit Dolly Parton's version?
Well, actually, it was during COVID. We were locked down in what we like to call our little redneck Riviera. There was like a yacht club, a trailer park, a marina, boat repair, all in the same. So it was all kinds of kinds. And we were, they had let us take over the kitchen and the back area to practice and stuff. So we were shooting a cover video for Dolly Parton's 9 to 5. And if you watch the video, the first scene, Dev comes in and she goes to put on her apron, but she has a shirt on that says, "You can have him, son Jolene." And then Danica went, "Oh, wait, what do
how you gonna take my man and then tell me I can have him back?"
Right.
And so I said, "How about you could just have him, Jolene?" And we were like, and it was from that moment we were like, we've got to write this.
Yeah, and I love I love to point out the fact that you all are writing and performing and singing. It's a whole performance, and the lyrics are just so incredible. How you touch people with your music. Let's talk about that fan connection and why, if nothing else, that is what you want more than anything.
Our fans are literally what keep us going. The congregation, we call them the congregation, and they are incredible is an understatement. They helped us get through COVID. Like, whatever we can do, we can send y'all gas cards, whatever, just let us know. And they support us like, we always say, we will put our fan base against any of them.
Anyone. Okay, I'm in the congregation now, officially.
Yes.
Let's get to this Grand Old Opry appearance.
oh my gosh. And it's so funny because I feel like we all still have the exact same feeling every time we go there. But after AGT, 2 days after we made our debut, and a lot of people were like, "Y'all got robbed, you should have won." But I feel like the fact that after we finished that competition, we went straight to Nashville and had our debut at the pinnacle of country music.
Because that's literally the point. It's all said and done in country, right?
It's like, I don't care what y'all said, we won.
Fast track that one.
And I think the most beautiful thing for me is the way that the Grand Ole Opry has embraced us. We've been back over 13 times to perform, and they always are like, "Let's see if it's Chapel Hart. Let's see if Chapel Hart." And we were kind of struggling to get our footing in Nashville for a while there. But it's kind of like when you find your home, when you find your people, and you find your tribe. And the Opry has been that for us. And every visit ends with, "Whatever you guys need, let us know. Don't you hesitate to let us know." And people tell you that all the time,
right?
But they say it, and I believe it.
You mentioned the challenges, and you're so diplomatic about it. But I know you're all still quite frustrated that you are still independent artists. You are still cranking out your own music. You do not have a record deal yet. Right. What's that about?
And I feel like for a while we were quite frustrated, but then I feel like we learned to appreciate the freedom that gives us, because with us still being independent, we can make music, release music when and how we want. We can take time to visit schools. Like, we recently went to see over 4,000 kids in Arizona, and get back to the things that we started on this journey for.
And those connections.
Reaching out to people, visiting senior homes, the VA, just giving back to the community.
The fact that still means so much to you, like your eyes kind of light up talking about going and still being able to make the connections, as opposed to, what happens when you're on tour and cranking out records.
Yes.
Not that we don't want that for you, right? How do you manage what's next then?
I think it's just kind of try to lay out to the vision. It's having a vision. And we know we're always wanting to do music and write music and give music to the fans and keep that connection going. But also it was us saying, we don't want to play the industry game. Like, we're in the conversations, and that's beautiful, but we got in this to touch people, to heal people, to help people.
Right.
And when we're losing focus of that, sometimes you got to get back rooted.
How do you keep people rooted when, every time, if we're just being frank, there's a new black artist or Beyonce drops something that's country, we go back to this conversation of what is country, what's authentic, when this is authentic for you. How do you address that?
You know, I think kind of a lot like how we started. When we started, it was just like, oh, they're black in country music. They're black, and we were just worried about doing the work.
Yeah.
And so a lot of that kind of ended up kind of just getting pushed to the back of our brains. And it's like, yeah, we're black, but we're country artists, and we've got these stories to tell. And
Or is it we're black and we're country?
We're black
right?
and we're
Because it's not
country.
either or. It's both.
That's it. That's exactly it. And I think the important thing that we were showing is that Black people have this country experience too.
Right.
Everybody went to school together. I said I remember going to school with a Annie Chu, and I was like, she was Asian and she lived the country experience.
Right.
But you know, mainstream country music was only showing it one way. So
Right.
you know, we felt like our music would do the talking for us, and our music
part of
would.
it feels like part of is what you're doing is changing the narrative, or at least correcting the narrative.
Yes,
because
yes,
black
yes.
women, black men have always been a part of country
Yes.
music.
Yes.
And I have to say, that's probably one of the most refreshing things about kind of this like new wave in country music, because it's, first of all, it's taken people who probably wouldn't have even thought to look into country music. They're diving in and saying, okay, I didn't know that Chapel Hart exists. I didn't know that Reese Palmer existed. And they're like digging in and finding other black artists who've been in the genre well before we were that might not have gotten that spotlight as well.
Yeah, and the folks we don't talk about anymore. The Charlie Prides. There's so many people who have influenced, right?
Yes.
The music that you do and the stories that you tell. I absolutely love talking to you, but I absolutely need to hear some Chapel Hart.
Come on.
Because the bars, when I say the bars, when I say country music bars dropped, and you're singing to my heart when we're talking about a man with a pickup truck.
Come on.
Let's get it.
Come on.
Let's get it. All right, you're going to hear from Chapel Hart when they perform. What's the song called?
This girl likes Ford.
Yes, she does.
We gotta tell the story.
We are about to tell it. Stay with us. We'll be right back.